need my four debaters here, Jonathan Battiato, Emra, Matt, and Dimitri, if you can join me here on stage, because we're getting ready for the debate. I'm so glad that I volunteered to run the debates. Please pray for me to keep all of these people in time. Take your time, Matt. We're definitely not in a time crunch, all good. You're fine. All right, so we have two debates this PGA Lowlands. The first one is going to be about Postgres on Kubernetes. Is that a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Is it a meh idea? Because oh, wow, you're getting ready. That's great. And my task, again, is making sure that everyone stays in time. Running Postgres on Kubernetes can be extremely beneficial thanks to advanced resource management and automated deployment, portability. However, now DBAs need to learn a whole new technology, and that could maybe hamper some of the innovation. Data consistency can also still be challenging. And our debate gives both proponents of Postgres on Kubernetes a chance to defend their viewpoint, but also people that are against. And hopefully it will lead to some really interesting hallway discussions when we're going into the break. Let me introduce our debaters for you. We have Jonathan Battiato, who is a senior software engineer at EDB and a cloud-native PG maintainer, and also a data on Kubernetes ambassador. We have Emra, who is a computer engineer working as an independent Postgres consultant at the European Patent Office. And then against, we have Matt, who is a customer engineer database specialist. That seems like 4 different titles in one, but okay, at Google, and also a Pokemon card collector, if you've ever seen his talk on that topic. We have Dimitri, who is a Postgres DBA at Atien, and I've been told that you've been described as the person, like hell will freeze over before you'll consider putting data on Kubernetes. So that sounds great, That sounds like 4 really capable people. And so for our time, because we only have 20 minutes and I've already been speaking for 2 minutes, I'm sorry. Everyone will make their opening statement that cannot be longer than 2 minutes. Yes. And once we've done that, we'll start sort of like pinging back and forth. You've got your own stopwatch there. I love that. Okay, we're starting with the people that are against. So Matt and Dimitri can start. You're closest to me, so I'm giving you this microphone.
Раз, два, три. Okay, I'm Dmitry, I'm operational DBA, and I'm looking after really big and loaded databases in payments where the sub-millisecond latency is our target. And so I have a really, really long list of objections against the data in Kubernetes, especially Postgres in Kubernetes. I do not have anything against the Oracle in Kubernetes. But I have to choose just 2 points, and I had to. So the major for me. So the performance overhead that you will get from Kubernetes. So that you need to pay for network, I/O, and CPU. So, and it's not theoretical statement. It just goes from POC. So you will see the added milliseconds to latencies. And so in the world of payments, it's not affordable. So the second point is the cross-regional setup. So it's not just possible in the modern operators. So with a regular DR, so you will have the replica in some far DC. And with a so it's not possible to have this stretched Kubernetes cluster across regions. And that's why you will have to have 2 independent clusters that cannot be managed by 1 or 2 operators. So it means that you will need some automation on top of orchestration. So I would not put anything really, data that I really care about under these, how to say, the homemade stuff.
All right. Your team member?
Thank you. Hey, I'm Matt. So first of all, I'd like to state that I do understand why you think putting Postgres on Kubernetes is a good idea, given how amazing it is for stateless application. But honestly, I think the real question is that can you, but should you? And honestly, I think for 99% of the use cases, and probably 100%, it's a clear no answer. And I have three points to argue with that. So the first one is the operational cost. You are adding complex layers on top of your databases. What does that mean? That means that now your DBA, aside from being a good DBA, also have to be good administrator of Kubernetes. It doesn't simplify your life. It will just shift the complexity. Second point is about obviously performance, like Dimitri said. The more abstract layer you had, the more latency you will have to your database. And I'm not even talking about the day you will have performance issue, because good luck for navigating through different components and abstract layers to understand where the problem is coming from. And lastly, I think it's all about focus. Do you really want your DBA to spend their time navigating through complex YAML files, networking policies, config map, and so on, instead of focusing on what brings value to your company and to your users, such as, I don't know, helping them designing their schema or optimizing the SQL queries? And that's my opinion.
Beautiful. You can give it to your opponents.
I've been running my production Postgres on Kubernetes for the last 4 years. Sometimes I ask my other DBA friends, hey, why don't you consider migrating your own databases from conventional virtual machines onto Kubernetes? I've seen that most of the time, their reservation against Kubernetes originates from the misconception that the Postgres that runs on Kubernetes is not original. I mean, they think it's some sort of modified or customized version of Postgres. And this naturally raises some concerns on their side. You know, the uncertainties may always be a cause for concern. But here, I can assure you that no, this is definitely not the case. The Postgres that we run on Kubernetes is the exact same Postgres that runs on virtual machines. It's byte to byte, same binaries. We have a regular Debian Linux image at hand. We download the Postgres packages from the official apt repositories, and we install them on top of that Debian. And these binaries eventually run on a regular Linux kernel as well. So if you decide to migrate to Kubernetes, you will be working with the same Postgres that you already know and that you already love. In that aspect, there is no surprise for you. So what I recommend is that you just take it easy, give Kubernetes a try, test the waters, and hopefully you will see that you are liking it. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone, I'm Jonathan, and they actually made good points, so don't run Postgres on Kubernetes. No, I'm not here to convince anyone to run Postgres on Kubernetes. I'm just here to tell you that Kubernetes is also ready to run not just stateless workloads, but also stateful workloads. There has been an history of improvement also in the storage side. Since I'm also part of the Data on Kubernetes community, I actually talk about the community that I'm part of. So we are collecting and gathering knowledge for stateful workloads and experience and organization that use Kubernetes also for their databases. We have many reports, in every year almost. We wrote a report that collects all the experience and the how do you say that? The people, the organization and companies that use actually stateful workloads on Kubernetes. Also, myself, I create a GitHub repository for a project that I would like to share with you. It's a collection of tools and best practice guide to actually run benchmarks on stateful workloads on Kubernetes. That is, I started with Postgres, of course, because I know that. And I collect the guide for FIO, which is a tool for IO operations on storage. Also, I introduced PGBench and the PGTestFsync, which are part of the core of PostgreSQL for benchmarking PostgreSQL on Kubernetes. So you get the guide there. You can try yourself if that is a real solution for yourself or running Postgres on Kubernetes. Performance. So you get performance. You can actually have your own results and compare with other solution, different CSI, for example, different storage. So you can collect your own data and decide. So I don't need to convince you. You try, and you will find what is the best for you.
Perfect. After the passion of our Kubernetes musketeers are against, contestants can reply.
Yeah, so it's really hard to reply because I didn't hear anything, any benefit that we will get from it. What I heard that, so just guys try. Okay, so instead of it, so I just forgot one point because I was in rush. So I will use this opportunity. So it also comes from practice. I completed recently a couple of investigations with the performance investigations. When first case was misbehavior in the syscall, and second was some ghosts on the storage. If I did the same with the Kubernetes, I need to add to my investigation slow CNI, slow CSI, slow storage, slow the PVC. And so the time that I spent a couple of weeks with a normal bare metal setup, so with the Kubernetes, I would say I would take weeks and weeks. And I don't think for real production, for real high loads, it's an option. Sorry.
Sure. So I'm not as funny as Dimitri, but he's correct. There's no argument. Like, okay, you can do it. I'm not arguing that you cannot do stateful on Kubernetes, but the thing is, why should we do that? What is the benefit of using Kubernetes instead of just doing managed services if you want to simplify your life with operational burden, or using bare metal to have perfect performance? I mean, fine-tune and extreme performance as you like. That's the two options. And for me, Kubernetes, I mean, operators on Kubernetes for Postgres is the worst of both worlds. So I don't see the value of it. Also, you said it's the same Postgres. I do agree, but again, my point is not that this is not different. This is a different Postgres. It's a different way of managing Postgres, and I don't see any value in it. I'm trying to search through arguments, but I think I'm good.
Cool. Our two contestants in favor can reply.
Our friends here have voiced arguments against Kubernetes. Actually, I might perhaps agree with some of their statements to a point. When you migrate to Kubernetes, it will not be all sunshine and rainbows. You will definitely face some new challenges that you didn't know before. However, the main question we need to be asking ourselves is, as the DBAs, can we really manage to stay away from containers? Let me tell you, containerization is not a hype technology. It's being used for more than 10 years, and it's here to stay. Today, it will be fair to say that the paradigm in virtualization technologies has shifted from hardware virtualization to process containerization. And databases simply cannot stay out of this development. They will have to adapt. When it comes to Postgres, the good news is that we already have long-standing operator projects that integrates Postgres with Kubernetes. These are open source projects, and large companies like EDB or Zalando are contributing to them as well. Postgres operators is not experimental work. They are being used in many production environments. They are battlefield tested. So my final words is that you may simply be happy with your current virtual machine environment, and you may not be looking for a new adventure. However, just do not completely shut yourself down to the idea of Postgres on Kubernetes. All right? Thank you.
Thank you. Also, to answer all the doubts about the pros and cons of using Postgres and Kubernetes, well, the improvement will be declaratively application for declarative configuration and deployment, immutability, and also running Postgres in Kubernetes close to the application, reduce latency. And with the operators, all the operators that you might find for PostgreSQL allows you to have really high availability and self-healing with the failover, automatic failover. And also responding to regarding the possibility to have a cluster replicated to another Kubernetes cluster that we made as a Cloud Native PG. We made a solution that is a workaround for the limitation currently having in the Kubernetes, which is the not federated, since Kubernetes is not federated with other Kubernetes clusters, we realized that we needed something to make possible cluster different in different Kubernetes cluster to communicate between them and replicate. So we have Postgres Kubernetes Postgres cluster in CNPG that is replicated by another cluster outside Kubernetes. Sorry, outside the same Kubernetes cluster, so in a different Kubernetes cluster. That with a topology architecture, you can create for example, three data center replica clusters that can replicate it to each other and decide which to promote and to demote as a replica cluster every time you need to do maintenance on the data center. And that requires also, of course, really consideration around the bandwidth of the network, because if you have data centers all around the world, it's, of course, you will pay the latency between the replication. But that, yeah.
Perfect. And we're here at PG Day Lowlands. That means we're in the Netherlands, and a really important political framework in the Netherlands is a polder model. That means that we need to come to some sort of consensus. You know, we need to, so I will give you just a little bit to discuss with each other. If we can do one closing statement that reflects the polder model, please.
Altogether, you mean?
Postgres rules?
Postgres rules. Okay, sure. Fine.
Yeah,
I'll
makes
take that
sense.
one. Thank you so much for your participation.